Hello, this is RICKY, the YouTube Tech Guy. Hey guys, so today I'm bringing you the first things you should do as soon as you get the Galaxy Note 10 or Note 10 Plus. This will help your phone dramatically and give you a much better experience. However, we didn't want to make the video longer than it already was, so we'll have two separate videos on how to save battery life and improve the performance, as well as how to set up the camera. So without further ado, let's get started. So the first thing you're going to want to do is get rid of Bigsby as it currently is. Now, if you want to use Bigsby, set up the Hide Bigsby function and do it that way. But Bigsby should not be in your power button, and it should also not be on your home screen. It just slows it down, and it's just something to get rid of. So we're going to go to here, the power button right here, and then go to Side Key Settings. From here, you're going to change it from Wake Bigsby to Power Off Menu. This makes it a lot easier to just quickly turn off your phone as you always have before. If you want to open Bigsby with a double press, you can, but most people are probably just going to leave it at Quick Launch Camera, which we've always done, or even select a different app if you choose to. The second thing you're going to want to do is pinch to zoom, and then scroll to the left and get rid of Bigsby Home. Again, this slows down your home screen, so it's just so much easier. Just turn it off, and you'll see your home screen is much quicker. From here, the second thing you're going to want to do is set up a Samsung account if you didn't already on your setup process. Now, the reason you want to do this is because it gives you an amazing feature that every Samsung user benefits from, and it's one of the best features that Android itself can't do. So you're going to go to account, set up your Samsung account, and once that's all set up, you are then going to be able to use something called link sharing. Link sharing allows you to text message up to 4K videos, up to 2 gigs files, and it's really great just because you're able to share huge files without losing any quality to any service you have pretty much. So you can send it through text message, you can send it through Hangout, you can send it through WhatsApp, you can send it to email, and it's at full quality. What it does is it basically uploads it and then the person can download it at full quality. So it's a really great practice. I definitely recommend anyone trying it for your best uses over having this phone. Then we're going to go in settings and we're going to go down the line. So we're going to go through all these and show you which ones you need to set up and which ones you don't. So first thing is I would turn on phone visibility. This is a pretty quick setting, but it's a really nice one. Just if you do transfer between different things, it allows you to do that if you have multiple Samsung products. So if you have ability to share with, say, my wife, I could share things with her, so I would turn hers on. So it's just easy to discover, kind of like AirDrop in terms of sending things, but on Samsung smartphones. Then you're going to want to go to phone. And so from here, we're going to go to sound and vibrations and go to advanced sound settings, go to sound quality and effects, and fine tune your Dolby Atmos. If you tend to do one more thing than another, I would just leave it on auto, turn it on for gaming, and set up an equalizer if you do want to. I actually like to have adaptive sound, so I have set it up so it does perfectly for my ears. This is really good. It definitely stands out when you listen to things in terms of the quality. So I recommend setting this up because it's tuned to your ears and you'll hear everything much better quality. All right, so next we're gonna move down to display, and there's a lot of things here in display. So first of all, I always recommend turning adaptive brightness off. It's better just to leave your phone at about 80% and then change it when you sparingly need to. But this way your sensors aren't going to be on at all times trying to figure out how much brightness you really need. So this is actually better for your battery life than just adapting the brightness. Second thing is, set up a schedule for your blue light filter so that you will rest easy. And this one's really nice because on Samsungs, it really doesn't change the color too much. It doesn't have that much of a yellow tint, especially if you turn it down. This is at medium, and this is where I typically have it at. So it's really nice in that aspect. Samsung, this is new to the Note 10 specifically for the blue light filter. It just, again, makes so you can sleep better at night. Night mode is obviously the biggest thing you want to turn on. So instead of a white background, you have a black background. The reason that's so important is because it dramatically saves you battery life just because all of these black pixels on the screen are off. So about only probably in this screen specifically, probably about less than 50% of the pixels are actually on right now. So obviously, the more pixels you're not using, the better your battery life is. Then I go to screen mode. You definitely want to change it to vivid. For some reason, Samsung shipped with neutral, probably to appease the screen purist, but we're Samsung users, so you're going to want to put that on vivid, and that will definitely allow you to be able to have those vivid colors that we're used to on Samsung. You can go into advanced if you really want to play around with it, but I think most people will be fine with just vivid. Then from here, you can change the screen resolution if you want to. I think most people are going to be fine with 1080p. If you want to improve the look of it, you definitely can put it up. If you want to save battery life, you can put it to 720. I think most people are fine with 1080p. Right now I'm doing some testing. That's why I have it on here. But I myself will downgrade it to 1080p once I'm done with all my testing. Then you go to home screen. From home screen, you can actually kind of play around with a bunch of the stuff. This is how I recommend setting it up with the home screen and apps, making sure your apps button is off. That way you can just swipe up to get to your apps. Lock home screen layout. This is what you should do. So I would do this for family members that tend to move around their buttons a lot. Lock their home screen so that they can't do it. Definitely something very important. Add apps to home screen, take that off so you're not constantly getting that. And then turning these two on would be a good one. Swipe down for your notification panel. So it's just easy that when you're on your home screen, you just swipe down and you get your notification panel anywhere on the screen. And then allowing it to rotate as well. That is going to be all for home screen. And from home screen, we move to edge screen. So edge screen is pretty simple. I would definitely take off edge lighting. This is pretty much kind of like a replacement for the LED indicator that we used to have there. So if you want it to have that, you definitely can. But I recommend just leaving it off if you're not using it, just because it saves battery, as well as edge panels. I usually turn them off. Again, you can have them on. Basically what they allow you to do is kind of have quick task settings and things such as that nature. I'll use it for my testing, but after that, I would recommend turning it off. Again, the less things you have on, the less battery you're using. Easy mode is going to be if you do want something very simple and easy. I would recommend this for elderly people or first-time smartphone users. Easy mode is going to be perfect for that. Next is navigation bar, and this is the setup I like. I like the navigation buttons and full screen gestures. I did try, but didn't like it as much, just because on here you can go to recent apps, but with the navigation buttons, you can still use the shortcut to quickly jump between your last app, which I find very useful and I cannot do on full screen gestures. So I typically have the navigation buttons on and with the back home recent setup. Then block accidental touches is something you definitely want on. If you are using a screen protector, then you can, which by the way, it ships with one, you can turn this on. This will help you improve, but quite honestly, I get rid of the built-in screen protector. It really sucks. We are going to check out the best glass screen protectors to see which one is going to be the best for this device, especially with the S Pen. It's always very tricky. However, I would recommend turning off touchscreen sensitivity if you do not have a screen protector, but if you do have one on there, then turn it up. Then we're going to go to a lock screen. Now, lock screen, there's two main things I want you guys to take a look at here, and that first one is smart lock, which what it allows for is that to have smart lock in certain settings. So I like it when you're connected to trusted devices. As you can see, when I'm connected to all these devices, I do not need a password. You can also set it to, say, if you don't want your lock screen to turn on at work, or you don't want to turn on at home, then you can have that, or you can even set up a voice match. But trusted devices is pretty much what everyone's going to use for this specific feature. So if you have it connected to like a smartwatch or something specific, then you don't have to worry about your lock screen needing to be on. However, use at your discretion. Then we go to always on display. Now for always on display, I do recommend showing always. It's just a better feature to have, and I think it's the best way to do it. You can have it rotate the screen, however, if you do want it to. And again, you can leave it at whatever brightness you want it to be as well. overall, always on display is a great feature, and it's the better version, in my opinion, of the LED indicator. And now we move on to biometrics and security. Now the first thing I want to point out is Find My Mobile. This allows you, if you have a Samsung account, to remotely access your device, to wipe it, or anything of that nature. So this is something you want to make sure you have set up. Again, you need a Samsung account for it. If not, you always do have the Google version of this, which is called Find My Device. And basically you can log into any computer through Gmail and then find your device or wipe it. But Samsung has their own version, which is good, especially if you forget the password on the device. That is why you would want to use Find My Mobile, because it can override the lock screen password. And then you're going to move on to Secure Folder. Now this is a really fun feature that basically gives you two phones. You have a work side and a personal side, or a personal side and a no one else should see this side. It really separates your phone. Again, we'll go over more of this in our hidden features video and in a separate video as well. So to learn more about Secure Folder, make sure to check out and subscribe. Definitely go over that in more detail. Then from here, you're going to want to go to Location, and you're going to want to go to Improve Accuracy. Turn off Bluetooth scanning. This wastes battery life and it's not necessary. Wi-Fi scanning is plenty, but Bluetooth scanning will leave Bluetooth on even when you turn it off. So it's always on Bluetooth and it's just not necessary, so just turn that off. All right, then we go to Advanced Features. And in Advanced Features, the first thing we're going to take a look at is Bixby Routines. Now, I will go over this in a separate video, but it's something that I would recommend, setting up different routines. It's really great just to change specific things. So say when I'm driving, I don't want to waste Wi-Fi connection being on, so I automatically turn that off per se. Something like that is really great, and then when I get home, it automatically turns on. So these are great things to always have, just basically so you have it set up, so when you do something, it's already set. The next thing you're going to want to do is set up these two features if you have the need for it. So the text to call is if you have a Samsung tablet, you can now call and text on newer Samsung tablets with your phone. The second part is to link up to Windows. So this will basically allow your phone to link up to your computer. And this makes it really great so you can text message and get all your notifications on your actual phone to your computer. Really simple and easy, and definitely recommend it to set it up. Then we have screenshots and screen recorder. Now this is really good because you always want to have your screenshots basically have the toolbar feature, and you always want to be able to choose if you want to automatically delete your screenshots after that. That way you don't have a whole page full of screenshots in your gallery. The other thing is you can actually do screen recording on this one. So with this ability, it allows you to actually record your screen. And this is really great for step-by-step tutorials, say for like, again, a family member or someone that doesn't know how to use the phone as well. Then from here, I would turn reduce animations on. I would turn direct sharing off if you don't want it to. Basically, it'll kind of highlight the people you've most recently messaged. I don't do that for the video purposes, but depending on if you find that feature useful or not, turn it on or off. And then motions and gestures, this is what I recommend having it on. Double tap to wake, and as well as swipe to call. Everything else I would turn off, except one-handed. I would also turn that on, but it can turn something else off. So I like certain things on here. So, or else if you use that, then you could turn one-handed mode on and off. Everything else I would turn off. Easy mute, all these things you can actually see what they do, but most of them are annoying. And then finally here, just turn on Video Enhancer and Game Launcher, and you'll be all set with both of those. And you'll find it a lot easier. So just instead of all my games being all around, I can actually just hide games and they're all in one specific area, easy for me to find. So I just like that a lot better, and it just makes it a lot easier to play all your games very easily. And the next one is going to be under device care. Now this is where we're going to make sure your phone is fast as possible, as well as making sure your battery life lasts longer. So there's three things here. and 2 of them are right up top. That is auto optimize. Set up a time when your phone automatically always optimizes. This is going to be a big help, especially for people that don't know what cache is. This is definitely going to arrange that very good and easily and great for you. So mine does it every day at 3 a.m. So it's very useful. Again, I'm not using it during that time, so it's perfect. And then auto restart. You want to auto restart once a week. Your phone is supposed to at least restart once a week. It makes the phone work a lot faster, a lot better, and definitely something I recommend once again. And then the last part is going to be under battery. You're gonna hit these little 3 dots and go into settings. And then right here, sleeping apps. So this is where you're going to want to put any apps you do not need to run, or you do not need to run in the background. This basically is going to improve your battery life dramatically, and you can see I have a lot of them. Now make sure to note that things like Facebook or something that you want to get messages from, you do not want to add on here, but anything that you do not need to run in the background, like games, bank apps, you know, whatever kind of stuff you do not need to run in the background, all of those can end up here, and this will save you in terms of battery life. So the last part we're going to go to is the actual phone app. I know it's very rarely talked about in smartphone setups, but there's 3 things you want to set up. The first thing is in places. If you want to be able to quickly search a place, so like I like searching the local Chinese food place around here, you can just set it up and agree, and then you can search places around you when you want to just search quickly. Then you are able to go to the menu button up top here and go to settings. Mine is again the unlocked variant, so your version will look different depending on which carrier you got. But 2 things you'd want to set up is if your carrier or any which way offers a way to hide or stop spam and caller ID. This is a really important one, so I obviously love to have this on. And then the second thing is going to be quick decline messages. So this is just kind of a really quick thing where you set up your messages that you always respond to with someone. This is just a really great way of doing so. And then finally, call pop-up. It's a really great way to check out your calls, see if you have that ability to, and if you do, I would recommend turning it on. It's just a top pop-up instead of taking over the entire screen when you call. That way you can kind of keep doing what you're doing more quickly and not let the call interrupt everything. Then finally, you also have Wi-Fi calling. Again, if it is available, turn it on. It's a great way. If you don't have good cell phone service, then you will use the Wi-Fi. All right, guys, hopefully you did like that video. If you did, please give a like, thumbs up down below. Thank you as always for watching. This has been RICKY, the YouTube Tech Guy. Thank you for watching our video. If you liked it, why don't you go ahead and subscribe up there. Make sure you follow us on social media right here. And of course, check out our latest video up there. And right down here, you're going to find the perfect video for you. Or at least that's what YouTube tells me. Thanks again.